Within each of us lurks a shadow, a dark, hidden part of ourselves we often deny or suppress. But far from something to reject, your shadow holds immense power once embraced consciously. Integrating your full spectrum of light and dark allows you to become a complete, powerful being. In this video, we will explore the shadow side of the human psyche in depth. You will learn practical ways to uncover your shadow, understand its role, and master your inner darkness as a profound path of self-realization. Let us bring hidden aspects of ourselves into the light. Your shadow symbolizes unknown or unacceptable parts of yourself you have disowned or rejected. It contains raw, primal energy, creative passion, repressed memories, and aspects society deems negative. But it only turns destructive when denied healthy expression. Shadow work is the ongoing spiritual practice of illuminating your darkness within. You uncover repressed emotions, suppressed desires, buried traumas, and even immoral or criminal impulses that contradict your self-image. Coaxing your shadow into awareness in a sacred space allows you to express its energy constructively. This unflinching self-examination requires brutal honesty. Productive shadow work techniques include journaling, meditation, dreamwork, counseling, art therapy, and ritual. Ask probing, uncomfortable questions in your journal or meditation. What part of yourself makes you feel most ashamed or guilty? When have you acted against your principles? What judgments and anger do you hide? Visualize descending into a cave to meet your inner shadow. Let it take symbolic forms: a monster, demon, animal, or any figure that represents your darkness. Speak to it. What does it show you about yourself? Uncover its purpose and gifts. Create art, poetry, or stories expressing messages from your shadow. Use movement or vocal toning to release its suppressed energies on a visceral level. Allow its raw, unfiltered truth to emerge creatively. Don't worry if shadow excavation unearths demons. We all have a dark side with primitive, selfish, or violent urges. Your shadow may even assume an inner archetypal personality, like a cruel tyrant, sly trickster, seductress, wild animal, or screaming child. But the shadow is not evil, just amoral forces seeking expression. So refrain from instantly repressing any darkness or immoralities unearthed. Do not judge them as sins. Simply observe shadow emotions and desires with non-attachment. Let them flow through you without acting them out. This acceptance recalibrates their energy for constructive use. Owning shadow parts of yourself will feel profoundly liberating. You shed suffocating masks. Your full spectrum of humanity comes alive. You can express primal vigor and passion while harnessing it wisely towards higher goals. Integrating shadow creates a fuller, richer, more creative, and fulfilled you. A powerful gateway for integrating shadow is the dark night of the soul, as coined by mystic Saint John of the Cross. This refers to an intense period of spiritual desolation, meaninglessness, and darkness. Consider it your shadow expressed collectively. The dark night arrives like an existential crisis. Former activities now seem empty. Old sources of meaning dissolve. Your worldview falls away, leaving you rudderless in the void. Nothing makes sense, and everything feels painful. Involuntary ego death has begun. This descent into the underworld has several stages. First, the fading of passion, boredom, and restlessness with old pursuits. Then the shadow's torments arise: fear, confusion, alienation, aimlessness. All external anchors fall away. The third stage is an agonizing sense of abandonment by the divine. Only aridity within remains. Do not despair if life unravels. The dark night signals your old self is dying so an expanded new self can emerge. Your stagnant beliefs and perceptions are being churned and broken down so fresh energy and insight can be seeded. How to get through it? Let mystery envelop you in its waters to dissolve hardened aspects of yourself. Release fearful grasping for certainty. Cry tears of surrender. Descend into unknowing, into unbecoming everything, so you can recreate yourself anew in the womb of the void. This breakdown is a breakthrough in disguise. Allow profound transformation to occur inside. You may feel like you are dying, because parts of you are, but something more authentic awakens after. The dark night passes as surely as storms. After this initiation, you awaken reborn with expanded consciousness. Where rigid beliefs confined you before, you now flow with life's dynamic mystery. Hardships no longer crush you for long when you know they fuel evolution. You feel part of the eternal dance between order and chaos. So when the dark night inevitably falls, do not numb it with distraction and rationalization. Face it fully. Cry out your despair until empty. Let your home turn to ashes so your palace can rise. The dark night has arrived to radically alchemize you. Surrender and allow it to bless you. Your shadow and phases of dark nights ultimately help you assimilate your full spectrum from light to dark. This integration completes your soul's journey toward wholeness. Here are 3 key steps for this wisdom work. First, acknowledge all aspects of yourself non-judgmentally. Do not repress, deny, or project any immoral or disturbing impulses unearthed. Bring them into the light of conscious awareness. Simply accept the existence of your dark side. Remember, energy never disappears, only transforms. Denying shadow forces it to manifest externally as events you project onto others. But when you take responsibility for your inner darkness, you gain the power to redirect that energy. Next, adjust how you express darkness mindfully. You are responsible for channeling shadow and unwise desires in constructive ways that don't harm yourself or others. Let anger fuel the courage to stand up for yourself rather than lash out. Transmute antisocial desires into passionate art or extreme sports instead of crime. Rather than project greed onto corporations, honestly examine and transform your cravings. For example, if you uncover a desire to harm someone, speak to your shadow. I understand you contain pain, but we have other ways to heal besides violence. Then channel that intensity into fiery activism, cathartic art, or contacting the ones who originally hurt you. Finally, leverage your shadow for evolution. Your dark side holds incredible transformational power once awakened. For example, tap into its primal vigor to overcome obstacles or enhance creativity. Use repressed pain as motivation to help others heal through it. Allow its audacity to give you the courage to live more authentically, pursue your purpose, and speak your truth boldly. Let it fuel constructive, radical action. Your dark side, once embraced, gives you texture and depth. Its eruption of creative energies, freed from confinement, unveils new potentials. Your shadows, integrated not ignored, imbue your light with passion and wisdom. Honor the interplay between light and dark dancing within you. Shadow integration is not a one-time process, but a lifelong cycle. You continually rediscover and befriend new layers as your consciousness deepens. Here are 3 tips for embodying your shadow work ongoingly. First, Make spiritual self-reflection practices part of your routine. Dedicate time each day to meditation, journaling, or nature immersion. Regularly check in with yourself. What previously hidden emotions or desires arise for you to acknowledge? What new insights emerged about your darkness? Make conscious shadow work a daily practice. Next, own all aspects of yourself during daily life. When disruptive impulses or thoughts arise, recognize them as messages from your shadow. Rather than repress or blindly react to them, consciously respond in constructive ways. Also, notice any shadow projections onto others. Radically claim your whole self. Finally, see life's difficulties as opportunities to integrate new shadow material. Everything challenging that arises seeks to teach you. How might disruptive people and events reveal your previously ignored darkness? The gold is in the shadow. Mine your experiences to uncover the evolutionary wisdom within each full-spectrum experience. Exploring humanity's dark side reveals incredible power for self-actualization once illuminated. But cowering from our inner demons only allows them to wreak havoc externally. We must rip off masks, shatter illusions, and unleash the full spectrum of light to dark within every psyche. Your shadow offers tremendous creative vitality and liberating truth once embraced. Its volcanic eruption makes fertile soil for evolution. So descend into the darkness. Illuminate the monsters within. Befriend what you once condemned. There you discover your wholeness and become a light shining bright with hard-won wisdom to those still lost in Shadowlands. Dare to own it all.